The Broom is back, baby. I want to talk to you today about impact. I want to talk to you about pressure on the golf ball. I want to talk to you about angle of attack, and I want to talk to you about launch angle. The Broom offers up so many opportunities to get the orientation of how you can create down, but yet still create flight. That's the conflict. Where the conflict comes from is number one even, how straight the golf ball goes. Now, the more a golfer has flight on the golf ball, and most notably when you have flight on the golf ball, invariably golfers will have some form of open face. If you've got an open face, the face to path box on the bottom right hand corner there, all of the time your club face is open to the path, you will create more and more flight. So as I'm making the face more open to that face to path value, and maybe I can go a touch more, you will see that that golf ball is taking up, off and through the top of the screen there. I now start to, and again the angle of attack on those last two shots were pretty nigh on the same, not that down, but they were 1 to 2 degrees down. Now as I drag down the face to path value and I actually leave it slightly less open, so 2.4 from a 14, you can see all of a sudden the ball flight comes down a little bit more. Yes, I've hit down a little bit harder there. Let's try and not do that. Let's try and get that angle of attack down. So there we go, I've dragged it down at 2.2, but yet still kept the club face open to the path at 2.3. It's quite good, that, isn't it? You can see that the ball flight has come down. I keep the angle of attack the same. I now make the face to path value slightly more negative. Hopefully I haven't gone too much down on the angle of attack. Have a touch there. So again, all of a sudden now the face to path was negative. I'm going to try and make that angle of attack a touch lighter if I can, whilst keeping the face to path value negative, fairly straight. So the angle of attack came down, and again, each time you can see the ball flight coming down. Now, the reason why I have demonstrated that to you is because the majority of golfers hit the ball in the sky with lots of flight because of one of two things. One, the face to path value is open, or two, the angle of attack is light. The less I hit down, keeping all things the same, the higher I'll tend to hit the golf ball in the sky. So you can see it, very much the same face to path value on those last two shots. The second one, the angle of attack was nigh on nothing, only 1 degree down, and the ball popped up a bit more. Try and keep in the face to path exactly the same, and now make the angle of attack positive. I don't think I did it on that one. No, it's 2 down. Kept the face to path the same. Again, you can see the ball flight came down. The less your angle of attack is, the higher the golf ball goes. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've had a few people, been very fortunate enough to work with quite a few people now, given close to 100 lessons on Skillist. If you haven't checked me out on there, do so, because it's a great platform to be able to access me remotely, and there's a lot of opportunity to improve your game. The angle of attack works intrinsically with the face to path value. So the more the club face will be open, the more a golfer will try to hit down. And they hit down in a way that's outside in and pulling the path to the left. And my hand's a little bit sore. I'm going to put my golf glove on. If you're tired of spending too much money on these golf gloves, on premium golf gloves, do check out GX Golf Gloves, a new sponsor to my channel. I've got involved with GX Golf Gloves purely because these are golf gloves of the highest quality and a fraction of the price of what you'll pay with other premium brands. Trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. So do go over and check out gxgolfgloves.com. Use my good coaching code, put in good coaching, and you'll get a 10% discount. So do go check those guys out. So when you've got an open face to path, because the face is open, and as I just demonstrated, the more open a club face is to the path, the more the ball will have flight. Then what happens is that we have that open face, we swing outside in, and because we swing outside in, we are able to create a stronger angle of attack by the virtue of swinging outside in. So you can see I've hit down at 7 degrees, but my path has gone 11 degrees to the left. It's not quite 1 for 1, but if I was able to create exactly the same principles in my golf swing, and I moved everything straighter, and I made that club path 0, I would take approximately 11 degrees of angle of, 11 degrees, yes, 11 degrees angle of attack off of my angle of attack. So the more I shift my path to the left, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree to the left, the more a golfer will tend to hit down on the ball. Almost 1 for 1. Because as a golfer early extends the golf club, casts it to try to get the face back to square, because the club is working outside in, the club is fundamentally higher. If I was to change that path to more inside out, can you see how much lower to the ground that club head is? So that path line will actually make your angle of attack lighter. That path line will actually make your angle of attack steeper. So when you understand that the path does have an intrinsic link to the face angle, you'll appreciate that your path going outside in will make your angle of attack look much better than it really is. But it's all because your face is open to the path. So when you then hit down at 7 degrees, but you've got a face open at 10 degrees, they kind of balance each other out, which is why we have a ball flight that is almost the same as a 0 path, a good 4 degrees of downstrike, and a 0 face to path. So understanding how the face, the path, and the angle of attack all work together to give you that ball striking. Now, the reason why I talk about this is because I've had a few guys and girls that I've started working with that are really battling to manage the levers through the strike. And I've had a few people talk about how do the levers work down through strike. You're always talking, Stuart, about pressure on the handle. And this pressure on the handle and the swinging of the golf club head is a tricky one to grasp. And that's why the broom is coming back out. So the broom out and the box out. This is my fictitious wall here. If you haven't seen it, I did a early extension cheater fix video. You'll see the thumbnail up in the corner there. Really gives you a good orientation of how to position yourself to aid your early extension. The reason why I brought the box out is because when we have a straight line in front of us, but not only that, it's higher, it really gives us a sense of the outside of the circle. So for us to manage the angle of attack and the swinging momentum of the golf club, we need to really feel that through strike, this golf club handle is descending. So as the handle is descending, can you see, and this is at contact, this is on the way back, let's say, so I've set myself up, I've made my backswing, and I'm coming down into the golf ball. As my handle is falling down, can you see how it's propping the club head up? Now look, this is all feel, this is all extreme measures, but if I did it subtly, you wouldn't see it, would you? So I need to be quite extravagant in how I demonstrate these things. So how I apply force on the handle, you see how it props the head up. But not only that, because of where the handle is going, i.e. it's going down to the floor and coming back to me, and this is down through strike. So I've made my backswing, I've moved the golf club down, and I'm now talking about the moment that the handle is round at the golf ball area. This hotbed here between right foot and left foot. this handle working down and to the left, can you see down props the club head up, around moves the club head out, and at that point, that's where we start to get the swing of the club head. The reason why I've got the box there is so that you can understand that even though I've got the handle out, can you see that the club head is nowhere near outside the ball line? And everybody's talked to me about, but I don't see anyone doing this, Stuart. Well, you might not see them doing it, but I can assure you that's where the energy is going in the downswing. It's coming down with the handle, it's coming out with the handle. An Athletic Motion on their YouTube channel, they talk about, someone sent me a video on my channel of watch this, Stuart. They're talking about the handle going down, but if you watch very carefully, it's not straight down, it is still angular forwards. And if you've got some sort of angular motion forwards and the handle's dropping, well, if it was just dropping, there would only be energy down, wouldn't there? If the handle has any movement forwards, it has to have energy in that direction. And it's overlaying the energy coming down. So this handle that's moving down through strike, which is propping the club head up and making the club head swing around, you can see there is no form of outside in. So I wanted to put the box there just to give you some orientation. We'll take it away and continue the demonstration. So the drill here for you to get a sense of how this club is working, I want you to take the broom, grip it normally, take it back to halfway, and then what I want you to do is put both hands palm down. And I want you to feel how you can lift the handle up, make the handle come back at you, and make the broom head swing out in front. And the reason why I'm putting the right hand on top is to stop all of you from trying to tuck your right elbow in. Because in an ideal world, we would want both arms lined up through strike, not right elbow tucked through strike. Both forearms lined up through strike will be able to create way more pressure on the handle than an elbow tucked. And so by making both hands sit on top, as I move this handle back and I move it around, now all of a sudden I can feel how the golf club can swing. And then we can lower that to the floor, which then will make you start to feel how you have to forward bend to get the club to hit the floor, or the broom in this case. So you're moving the handle down, you're moving the head out. Remember, that's where the golf ball is my ball line. I'm moving the handle out. I'm able to hit the ground. The golf club is hitting down, lining it all back up and moving it back in. Once you've done that a few times, with that way round with the grip, now put your usual grip on. Do the same thing. Move the handle towards you and make the golf club swing. Handle move towards you. You can see that on the face on camera, this handle is simply moving up and down my sternum line. The handle is moving forwards, the club is swinging out. And because I'm now getting my handle working down, look how it pulls. Look how it pulls the club head up, which allows me to swing it down at the bottom. So I'm feeling pressure down on the handle, club head out and lining back up. Pressure down on the handle, club head swings back out. That's the feeling of being able to force the handle down and swing the club head out and around. Those two things will give you the angle of attack and the lining up of the club face. Let me demonstrate with an iron. So back with the club in hand. Get the club shaft laying down, pushing down, club head swinging around. Club head handle down, club head swinging around. Now when you start to feel the handle push down to the floor and the club head swinging, look how it starts to pull me into forward flexion. And that's why if you get this club swinging well, whether you are 85 years old 95 years old, or you've just come out the womb and you're 2-year-old on the mat, if you know how to manage the weight of this golf club, I promise you, early extension is an absolute load of poppycock. It's got nothing to do with strength. It is everything about using the levers appropriately to allow you to put force and pressure in the handle, because if you've got force and pressure going into the handle and making the club swing, you would have to, because it's pulling your chest forwards, you would have to offset that with the pressure through your heels to make the club not pull you onto the toes of the feet. So when you then stand to the golf ball, toes of your feet looking like this nonsense, can you understand why you would not move the golf club in this manner? So as you start to put force down into the handle, you can see how it would pull me into side bend, forward pressure, and look at how much angle of attack I've got. Look at how straight that club path is. So when people said in very, very kind words, I can demonstrate all of the shots, all of the time, I can manage all of them, I'm no good. If I was a good golfer, I would not be standing in this bay talking to you, trying to make a living on YouTube. I'd be out there earning millions and taking on Rory. But I can definitely instruct golfers, the top of the tree, to play this game to the best of their ability. And so understanding that how we move around this golf ball is really important, but how we understand the pressure in this handle and how the handle works underneath the chest. And if the handle's working underneath the chest, I better make sure that the pressures through my feet are going to stabilize that environment so that I can create the bend needed to get it all lined up. So to make the handle move in this manner down through strike, you therefore appreciate how important it is that all of the other facets that I've talked about are in play here, because if they're not, it's going to be really, really difficult to micromanage, to apply the force on the golf club in the manner that I talk about. There's the force, there's the handle falling over, it's pulling me more into forward bend. I better make sure that I've got force into my heels so I can move through in balance. So I wanted to talk about how you can apply force, how you can swing the club head, line it all back up and help your posture through strike. If you've enjoyed that, do consider subscribing. 65% of you are not subscribed to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it if I'm making your golf just a little bit better. Share it with your friends, like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.